Welcome to Stick to Rugby, brought to you by Defender. Now, we have a Rugby League episode today. We've got the legend that is Martin Offiah.
Wowzers.
Wowzers.
The Try Machine.
Yes, and we've also got Wakefield Trinity and England player Mike McMeeken, who's joining us as well, which is a mouthful to say.
You've done well.
Yeah,
You've done very well. Excellent as always.
Anyway, the two good guys. Rugby Ashes series coming up. England, Australia, 25th of October. First one in Wembley, and it is going to be epic. Oh man, you go back 20 years. Those were the test series you wanted to watch.
Growing up watching them, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely incredible.
That's cool. Did you play Great Britain?
No, well, I had a decision to make in 1996 because the Lions tour was going in 1997, and if I hadn't come back at the start of that season, there was no chance of me getting on the Lions tour. So I wanted to give myself a chance to that. I was in the pre-squad to go to Australia in 1996 in the October. Clive Griffiths phoned me and said, because he was on the coaching staff at the time, he said, look, Scott, if you stay, then I can't promise you that you'll go. He said, but they're talking about you and you could have an opportunity to go and play in Australia. And I had to make that decision. I decided to go with the Lions and have a chance of playing for them, which luckily I did. But looking back, it's one of those, it's the one that got away. It's the one that got away. What if? But if
Well,
we
you did all right, mate. You did all right. You went on the Lions tour in 97.
Exactly. I wouldn't be doing this podcast if I hadn't.
No, yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
You'd be on something else, wouldn't you? Stick to cooking or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, look, boys, we had some devastating news this week with Lewis Moody announcing that he has MND. Just horrific. Now, Phil, you know him. I know him really well. Difficult news to take, wasn't it, for everyone?
Well, it's just, you just can't describe it, really. You know, I think we're all ultra sensitive, I suppose, as well with rugby, with obviously Ed Slater, Doddy, Rob Burrow, Paul Rendell. So when I spoke to him last week and he told me, you know, it was just, I just couldn't believe it. The frustration of it always is, you know, particularly for Lewis, I can honestly say I don't know another kinder, generous, honest, loving human being than that. You know, why him?
Yeah, no. But the
Well, there's no rhyme or reason to the...
The support around will be absolutely huge. Yeah.
And the thing is, with Lewis, we know that he won't be thinking about himself. He'd be thinking about his family, wouldn't he? And his friends. He's that type of guy, you know. And if anybody's going to fight it, like we saw with Rob and we've seen now with Doddy, you know, I've never seen anybody fight it like those two. And it's going to be exactly the same. And our thoughts and love are with them all.
No one's braver than that boy. Let me tell you.
What's your favourite memory of him? I remember your favourite playing memory of him, because I remember it has to be the little fight he had with, was it Alexander Tuolangi, Samoa? Oh,
yeah,
loved it. Loved it.
He was physical, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Body on the line. Oh, what a legend.
I don't know, I can't think of like particularly one memory because he's such a bloody donut.
Just flying into tackles.
But he's just, yeah, I suppose for me, I go back to perhaps 07, you know, Rugby World Cup. I remember being in, it was Marseille, and he led the team out because it was his 50th cap.
Yeah.
I said I wouldn't fucking cry. I thought I was
it's all right.
I thought I was all cried out.
It's all right. It's all right to cry, my friend.
But yeah, but just such a brave person. You know, one of those people that I know we all talk about it, but just one of those people that would do anything for his team.
Everyone loves him.
Well, because he's a good blowy.
Yeah.
You know.
He's 100% one of the good guys.
It was almost yin and yang, wasn't it? There was Lewis Moody on the rugby pitch who would put his body everywhere, and he'd be into everything, and he'd be jumping on everything, and he'd be fighting everything, and he'd be pulling everything, and he'd be slamming everything, and then you meet him off the pitch, and then you go, you're not the same bloke.
But don't,
you're just lovely.
But when you think about it, we're all a bit like it, aren't we?
Yeah, totally.
It's crazy, really.
Yeah.
I think one of the craziest things I've ever seen him do, this is off the rugby field, and it kind of sums up Lewis for me, what a bloody donut brain he is. I remember him having a challenge. This was in 2007 in France, and I think we were in Paris at the time. It was after, I don't think it was, I can't remember who we played, and it was before something. We all went out on a bit of a team, not piss up, but just a few beers just to relax a bit, because we were under so much pressure, things weren't going very well. I was captain of the job. We went out, and I watched, Lewis was challenged to eat a pint of some already salted peanuts without having a drink.
A pint?
Yeah. And he bloody did it. And I challenge anybody who listens to this, if it makes a cut, well, no, don't, because something bad will happen.
Don't eat a pint of ready salted.
He ate a pint of ready salted peanuts without having a drink. I'll tell you what, you need to be bonkers.
I don't know what's worse, eating the peanuts or not having a drink.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Man, do you know what? That's all we can do is be here for him.
Yep.
And here for family. And like we've done with so many people before, we're here to help him.
Yeah.
But it's like he said to me, because he's caught so early, which is amazing, and he doesn't feel any different. Yeah, he's trying to process it all, he said, and and obviously with family, but he doesn't feel any different. He's in a really good space as far as where he's at the moment, and he knows how much he's loved. He knows that support will be there for him, and we just need to make sure that we do, and we are, which we will, and for Annie and the boys and his family. So just keep being positive about it, keep hoping. The girls and boys who are researching, because of all the great work everyone's doing as far as fundraising, the research they're doing is moving forward. They are making breakthroughs, and we just have to keep pushing that forward, and just like you said, just being there.
Be there.
Yeah.
And you know what, boys? You think we've got our own little problems and we're all fighting our own little battles and stuff, it kind of
puts
everything into perspective, but we're lucky we're part of an awesome game, a brilliant game, and we will all dig in, I know we will.
To get England versus Australia, it's a once in a career opportunity, so just makes it all that more special.
And any predictions now for the grand final?
Well, being a Wigan ambassador.
Watching the internationals on TV, oh wow.
You think at club level it's fast, when you go up to international it's just a whole new level.
What did it feel like when they came to you and said, we want to make a statue of yourself?
They put it out to a public vote, and I think that was just after I did Strictly, so...
I remember sitting in that changing room, right, and they both beat Mal Meninga, right? And I sat there and I went, what have I done?
If you could take any current rugby union player across the league, who would you choose?
And he walked in with Manu Tuolangi. I just looked at him, shook his hand, and he said hello, and I thought, my God, you're a whopper.
He's got his own song now, Tyler Offiah, You're Not As Good As Your Dad.
But you wrote it.
Boys, welcome to Stick to Rugby, brought to you by Defender. We've obviously have some local delicacy treats made for us, and us three can't be bothered to make them anymore. So these are made by Holly, and it is a walnut cake. So if you've got no allergy, please do not touch it. And a lemon and poppy seed cake.
Ooh, that looks nice.
A little bit of drizzle.
Would you like one? Oh, you're fasting?
I'm fasting at the moment, so
No,
I might take one for later.
You're not fasting?
I've always been fast.
No, I haven't taken it.
I've always been fast.
I might have to try a little bit then. But normally before we get you involved in the show, we like to have a little warm-up game.
Yeah.
But this time, because apparently SQ used to play Rugby League, although none of us have ever seen him play.
Don't laugh.
Mate, I played with him.
Apart from
he was good.
Apart from the Middlesex Sevens.
Say something, don't laugh.
Remember you in the Middlesex Sevens?
Yeah.
We've got a little Rugby League quiz for you. And this is true or false, so 50-50 basically
Okay.
for you. True or false, the first Rugby League Ashes series was held in 1908/1909 season.
Did you play?
I'm old.
Touche.
Sorry, Matt. You know I love you.
Shot across the bow.
It was 1880 odd, so I'm saying false.
True.
Oh, go on.
First Ashes series was held in 1908/1909 season.
Okay.
Dally Messenger.
Which club has won the most grand finals? St Helens or Wigan?
Ooh. St Helens.
Oh.
Hold on.
Well, you can't
Scott.
just exclude.
I might have gone Rhino.
You play rugby league?
But it would have been. Well, I cannot say Saints. So they may be, but I cannot say Saints. So I'm going to go when Wigan win on the weekend.
Yeah.
Wigan.
Well, you can say Saints because it was Saints.
Yeah, no, but I can't. But I can't say Saints.
And it was 9.
So how many Wigan got?
8.
Oh, so
I don't know. I just made that up.
Saints have been more dominant.
Yeah.
2 players hold the record for the most points scored in a regular season. The most points recent is Pat Richards in 2010.
Yeah.
But can you name the others? It was Pat Richards Wigan, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Winger and kicked a goal. Yeah. Knowledge.
Of Super League.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Scott, you played with him.
I played with him. Mm-hmm. Well, it's not Faz, is it? Is it Faz?
Yeah.
Well, I even got it wrong when I got it right. I said, it's not Faz. It can't be Faz, but it's Faz, all right. Faz.
You should have that tattooed on
Faz,
you. Yeah, Andy Farrell, 388 in 2001.
Wow.
Can you name the 5 teams starting with W that have played in the Super League?
Wigan, Wakefield, Warrington, Workington,
Yeah.
and Whitehaven. No, Whitehaven wouldn't have. Widnes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Well done. And last question, Scott, who is England's...
Stuart's inquiry on that one.
Okay.
There's whispering going on there then.
Okay, was there?
a lot of
Who else
football
have we missed?
How can you hear anything with those ears?
Says the man with a cauliflower sticking out.
You are.
Exactly.
Two forwards. Okay, both are cauliflower.
Who is England's top point scorer of all time?
England's top point scorer of all time.
Oh,
who kicked goal? Well, yeah, who kicked goals? That one. Can I phone a friend? Yeah. Hello, Martin Offiah. Can you help me out? Who's the all-time point scorer for England?
Sinfield.
Yes!
Yes.
Well done, that was
Yes.
the toughest one.
Yes. Well done.
Right, boys, tell us why you're here on Stick to Rugby. What are you promoting?
We're here to promote the Ashes series.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing.
First time in 20 plus years, 22 years, since the Ashes has been fought for.
Yeah.
We haven't won since, 1970?
1970 was the last time, yeah, that England won against
This boy
Australia.
is going to be
Wasn't
part.
born.
No,
Definitely wasn't born in 1970.
24 years old.
I wasn't born in 1970.
Well, he's going to be part of the team that are going to bring rugby.
So why?
league home.
So why hasn't it been fought for in 20 years? Because it's the most iconic. Before, when I first went to Wigan, the Ashes, Great Britain and Australia, that 1994 series was just incredible, and the hype around it was just the most brutal game on the pitch, but the most anticipated sporting event around that time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think there's been a few things. I think that after the last Ashes, there was the Tri-Series, so we had New Zealand and Australia come across. And then I think they tried to get it on in 2020, but obviously COVID, strange times all kicked in. And then since then, they've just not been able to fit it in. But then, this year they've managed to get them over here, and we've got 3 great venues to be playing at, which I think everyone's excited to play in.
And they are Wembley, Everton's new stadium, which
And Headingley. But Headingley and Everton Stadium are all sold out. So the only opportunity to get on board and watch the game is the first test at Wembley on October 25th. I think the Rugby Football League have sold 45,000 tickets. So
That's exciting, isn't it? Knowing that 2 stadiums are sold out already.
Yeah.
The speed in which they sold out as well was within some. I think Headingley was within hours. I think Everton's new one maybe took a week. But
So just the thought of playing at that stage.
yeah. I think that's what makes it exciting is that you've got Everton's brand new stadium. They've only played 3 games in it themselves, and then we're going to go fill it out and hopefully put a result against the Australians.
How aware are you of the rivalry between England, UK, with the Lions, with Great Britain and Australia?
Well, you speak about rivalry between Australia, don't you? It's in every sport. It's in rugby league, rugby union,
Cricket.
cricket. You got there, so it's massive. Me growing up, I was watching rugby union, but the rivalry between England, Australia, World Cup final 2003, and then more recently we played them in the 2017 World Cup final, and it was an ankle tapped away from winning the World Cup. So obviously the rivalry in all sport against Australia is massive, and
I think they're going to be smart, and after that Lions tour as well, which Andy Farrell led, and obviously that crucial second test with that ruck. So the Aussies are going to be thinking we're going to do them at Rugby League at Wembley, and so
it's just going to be. I think even just for neutral people though, it's going to be exciting. You've got world-class athletes on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, watching yesterday's NRL Grand Final, you've got the likes of Reece Walsh coming over, and he'll be playing for Australia. And over here, we've got the likes of Herbie Farnworth, who plays in Australia at the moment, and he's a world-class athlete. We've got the likes of George Williams, Jack Wellesby. So it's going to be exciting. It's awesome to be a part of.
Well, and you played in that one in '94. What does it feel like to play for Great Britain, so England in Wembley against the Kangaroos? Because you have a look, there's sporting franchises around the world. You've got the All Blacks, you've got the Springboks, you got the LA Lakers, you got whatever, you got the Kangaroos are just incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, they've been so dominant, since the 80s and the 90s, when
Mal
lots of Mal Meninga coming over. Just phenomenal players that they've had, and now they've got the likes of Reece Walsh, who had a game for the ages in that grand final at the weekend. So it's all heating up, but I do feel that, it is England now. It used to be Great Britain, obviously, back in the day, and, I'm getting quite emotional thinking about it, that, there's a lot of players who have missed out. A whole probably generation of players have missed out. It's been 20 plus years, 22 years, I think, since the last Ashes.
Why so long?
So even for me,
I just think because since Super League, back in my day, we played at different times. We obviously played in the winter, and they played in summer, so it was easier to get those games on. But now, obviously, with World Cups, with Tri-Nations, with lots of other things, they've got State of Origin. It's been big in Australia. We haven't managed to get it together, but I just think it's going to be a fantastic occasion, and I'm looking forward to
the international game as a whole in rugby league started to build a bit more now. You've got the likes of Samoa, Tonga have got competitive squads now, so to get England versus Australia, like you say, it's a once in a career opportunity. So for any Englishman, I think they're waiting patiently by their phone, hoping to get that phone call.
You've played in the England side going in. What are you expecting? That World Cup final, the heartbreak of that World Cup final. Opportunity to get payback.
Yeah, definitely. It's obviously just a big opportunity to play against the world's best, and they're obviously ranked number 1. But we feel like we've been playing well the last 2 seasons, especially. We've had Samoa and Tonga both come over here, and we both beat them both 3-0 and then 2-0. So, and like I said, they're competitive squads now. So, we're not arrogant, but we feel like we're confident enough to have a good go against them.
The problem, I suppose, with the Kangaroos, they don't play that much there. It's not like rugby union where they got the Autumn Nation Series, and they've got the Six Nations, you've got the Tri-Nations. So when you do come together and play these games, it's so big, but it's almost the unknown as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that special feeling as well. Like you say, we don't get many opportunities to pull on that England shirt, so when you do, just makes it all that more special. Potentially you can make 3 appearances for England this year, so you've got to cherish every moment of it. And then, like I say, to be playing out in these sold-out arenas, it's just awesome to be.
I think the one thing with that though, Scotty, the Kangaroos don't play that often in the international games, but neither do you guys.
No,
so it's almost a level playing field, isn't it? Which I think then is the celebration of the athletes, of the skill set. Keep things simple, and actually it makes it just a brilliant occasion. Because even me growing up, I've always been a league fan. I used to watch it on TV. Warriors fan historically, but watching the internationals on TV, Great Britain. Oh wow!
Yeah.
It was just totally different level. And that's a Union fan, just as an occasion. It was just amazing, and we need to keep replicating that. We need to inspire people to want to pick up a ball.
What do you think predictions will be, Martin?
I'm thinking that we've got to be positive, and if we can, win that first test at Wembley, it really is going to set the series up. I think if we go down in that first test, we're going to find it hard. I mean, we've found it hard, historically, even after winning at Wembley. I remember going back to my first time playing at Wembley. It was 1990 when Ellery Hanley was captain, and we beat the Aussies in the first test, and then went to Old Trafford in the second test, and literally we were 90 seconds away from clinching the series. That's as close we came, and Mal Meninga killed us again with that last minute try after Ricky Stewart went through, and Lee Jackson.
What was Mal Meninga like to play against?
Mate, it was like playing against Scotty, but he could run,
Run.
sub.
Scotty got better.
He could put everything.
Like Scott, but he had a brain.
No, I'm not. He was a great rugby player. I'm not going to
Don't accuse me of
that.
that. I tell you what, right? I just signed in '94. And Wales were going to play Australia, and Clive Griffiths, who was our coach then, incredible man, just absolutely brilliant. And Griff said, "Look, come into the squad." He said, "You're obviously not going to play because you haven't played, you know what I mean? But I want you to be in and around the squad to see what the feel of it was." And then they were John Davis, Alan Bateman, Gibbsy was there. It was just it was star-studded, the Welsh team at the time, and just to be there was incredible. And John Devereux was playing, and I remember sitting on the sideline and watching Mal Meninga lead out the Aussies, and I went, Jesus Christ, I've never seen thighs, and I've never seen arms, I've never seen shoulders like it in my life. You know the double doors you got, it was at Indian Park, the double doors, he had to come through sideways, right? And he ran onto the pitch. And then all of a sudden he was there, and he used to wear this big forearm, and all of a sudden he was carrying the ball, and John Devereux was a big man, right? And he was strong as an ox, right? John Devereux went to tackle him, and he hit him with the elbow, right? And Dev goes down. And they said, Scott can't get his hand, so we're bringing Dev's off, and he's got a compound fracture of the jaw, right? So we go into the changing room, and Dev goes, take my gum shield out. And I went, all right. He went like that, and his jaw went to the side. I could see both bones in there. And I just put it back up like that, right? And I went, I think we better leave the doctor do this one. And as I'm holding his jaw up, right? Dai Young comes in, and his top eye has dropped under here and has about 28 stitches put in there, right? And he put up, and Dai, you ready? Yeah, Dai went straight back on, right?
Standard.
And I remember sitting in that changing room, right? And they both been Mal Meninga, right? And I sat there and I went, what am I doing here? What have I done? What have I done? And it was
SQ, we are supposed to be promoting the game.
Yeah, but it's brutal. But you know what?
In a good way.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
but it was to be
It was
inside.
combat. It was like war. It was literally like you felt like you were going to war. And talking of that second test in 90, Mal Meninga, he fell on my leg. And even to this day, when I wake up in the morning, my cold shower, I can still feel it. So I think about Mal Meninga every morning.
Give us some of the stars from the England team we should be looking at.
Well, like I said, we've got Herbie Farnworth, who's been, I think he was ranked best centre in NRL for the last 2 seasons, and then we've got Kai Pearce-Paul, who's also playing out there, and like George Williams, our captain, Jack
Julian
Wellsby.
December's another one to watch.
December, a very good big player. So we've got some players who who would be good amongst all of them really over there, and what we need to do is make sure we match them.
Yeah.
Like you say, Mal Meninga, back in those days, had been leading them and getting them right up for this game, and a new coach in Kevin Walters coming over here, first Ashes in 20 years. They're going to be up for it, so we need to make sure we're matching them.
Could be like the Lions talk at it.
Got to put pressure
Come
on
down.
them.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
final one.
I don't think, honestly, people out there, right, if they've never seen a game of rugby league live, then please go, because Wembley will be your only opportunity to go. It is brutal.
It is.
And it is non-stop. It is all action. You know what I mean? The ball in play is absolutely ridiculous. I talk about this all the time. You know what I mean? What's ball in play now in an average game?
I think someone mentioned it the other day. I think something like 50 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, I think so, about 50 minutes, yeah.
So yeah, especially international level, it's non-stop. You think at club level it's fast. When you go up to international, it's just a whole new level.
It's going to be the closest thing you're going to see to a State of Origin live. It's up there.
Yeah,
definitely.
And what about the first kickoff? Because a couple of times for Great Britain.
Oh yeah, it was.
Sean Edwards.
Sean Edwards. Mate, stop putting that out there. We don't need that again. But having said that, we did beat him with 12 in 94.
Exactly.
Jiffy scored that try.
Oh my God, that is still. If I don't see that on X 10 times a week, I'm on the wrong algorithm. You know what I mean? It's just amazing.
I love winding Jiffy up though. I say, how's it feel to score the second best ever try?
Hang on. Has he got a monument outside there? Has he got a statue? Has he?
You have to ask him.
Do you know who has?
What
did it feel like when they came to you and said, look, you know, we got the new Wembley and everything, and we want to make a statue of yourself? Was there a bit of...
No, it wasn't like that. No, it wasn't like that. It was just, I think it was in 2009. I think the Rugby Football League, I think I was doing a book tour in Manchester, and then I found out the Rugby League were going to have a monument at Wembley, and obviously to not far from Bobby Moore, and I just thought to myself, well, good luck with that, because there's no way they're going to be able to agree to have one person. Even then, I've decided to broaden it out to have a few, and I think they put it out to a public vote, but it wasn't a Rugby League vote, so anyone in the country could vote on it. And I think that was just after I did Strictly, so...
Can I ask you? I'll tell you what I can't wait for. I just can't wait for the first kickoff.
Oh, mate.
Like any kickoff is incredible.
But this is going to be... I just hope we're kicking off today.
Yeah. And you talk about that. Is it, in Rugby League, is that like a big thing, a big...
Yeah, well, sometimes, I think,
first
as a captain, sometimes you go
to first scrum in rugby.
Especially like a built-up event like that, you're thinking... All right, let's go after them. Let's
keep
set
it
the tone from the off. Yeah. Let's keep 30 men on the field, but let's go after them.
I think it was the first time at Central Park, where I think we must have been playing against Saints or something. And they kicked the ball to me. Giz got it. Sean Edwards got it. Give me the ball. I run up and I thought, yes, I'm going to have a good go here. And all of a sudden I thought, why can't I feel my feet anymore? Because I was up off the floor and I was being taken backwards. And I thought, oh shit, I'm not in control. You know what I mean? There's about two on each leg, one around my thing, and I'm like, God, bang. And it is the most exposed thing that you could do in your life, because you know you're running into a brick wall. There's nothing else happening.
They know what's going to happen.
They
know what's going to happen.
I know. Everybody knows.
No footwork,
you've got to accept it.
It's just together like that. Brutal. Brilliant, no.
Listen, before this Ashes series starts, we've got the little bit of the Super League to finish off. Not apologies. Sorry about you and your team.
It happens.
It's a nice rest up before.
That's the plus side of it, I suppose. So from an England point of view, how do you see the final, the game going? Is it too close to call? Is it?
I think it'll be close on the day. I think Wigan have found their feet again.
A little bit of a dip, didn't they?
Yeah,
kind of.
That's the thing with Wigan. I speak to the coach and the conditioner because he's linked with England, but they're always quite a humble side. You know, they don't like to get too high, too low, and I think that's a good mentality to have. And they never got too worried whenever critics were coming in saying, "Oh, Wigan aren't the same team." But then when you've played against them, I've played against them in grand finals and lost.
Yeah.
You know, just there's no way to switch it on.
Big game players.
And then the other side, you're looking at KR, who've been at the top the whole year and, you know, been the best team the whole year.
What's been the key to their success, do you think, this year? The consistency of them?
I think it's consistency. I think they've recruited well and experienced. They brought in Hargreaves from Roosters, who's won titles over there. And then I played with him at Catalans, Mickey McAlorum, who's tough as they come and brings that experience, that winning mentality as well. And I think those two in particular, I feel like they've taken them to another level.
As the swapping of players, like, you know, you watch a game of the NRL and you see what's going on down in Australia, which is as a product, just as someone who watches, is amazing.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot more transferring of players. Has that been positive for us here in the UK?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you want the best players playing in your league, don't you? And I think people like Hargreaves coming over. Okay, it's only been for 1 year. What he's done is kind of put a bit more light into our Super League and got a bit more headlines going, I think.
What's the biggest difference, do you think, when you're talking to players,
Yeah.
the players that have gone and come back?
It's difficult. I think the only way I can sometimes describe it is like football over there, like over here, what we have. So football over here is #1 sport. Over there, in most of the country, Rugby League's the biggest sport.
Yeah.
So it's covered by every network. The money behind it's massive. Whereas over here, I'm not sure how far Rugby League goes down, but in terms of coverage.
Well, the football shows, isn't it? You know, it's on every night.
Yeah.
You go to
Yeah.
Australia, it's literally on
There's
every
always
night.
something,
Everybody's talking rugby, everybody's talking NRL, they're all talking. You know, they have the quiz shows about it, they have the sketch shows, they have everything about it.
Yeah, even when Andy Farrell was having a press conference, they were talking about the last time he'd been to Brisbane when he was there with Wigan when they won the World Club Challenge. So it is obviously, it's a massive vehicle over there.
It's attritional over there as well. Sometimes I think the game over here can be a little bit more, our game can be a little bit more open. But they do, it's so attritional. Their forward packs are slightly bigger over there, and you know, a lot of the islanders play in as well. Yeah. So is that a slight difference perhaps?
Yeah, I think that's probably a big difference as well, is the way that they play the game. I think they go real big on completion rate and you know, when you're coming out from your try line, they're thinking, right, we need to get as far as we can, but with as least risks possible.
Yeah. So when you say completion, complete your six?
Yeah, complete the 6 tackles and then get your kick away.
Okay.
Whereas I think over here, our completion rate might drop a little bit, but then we're a bit more expansive. Okay. Well, we're not afraid to sometimes play when we get outside of our 20 and then just try and find like a one-on-one on the outside, whereas not saying they go just like that down the middle all the time, but it tends to be rather than moving it wide to find it. I think over there they kind of get their completion up, which isn't a bad thing. And then once they get into the good ball area, which we go from like the 40 into the try line, that's when
it's like wind-up rugby. So you go out there, they carry off nine, and you know what I mean. They try to make as many yards. But over here, we look to go out the back a little bit more, try open it up a little bit. And there's those two contrasts of styles really when you look at England and Australia. That's what makes it so good then when you get to the national level. You know what I mean? Because the one thing you know Australia are going to bring is that front-on force in it.
So I suppose from your perspective, first, and I know it's always the same in league or in any game union as well, but that emphasises even more priority on that first contact, physicality.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying they're not going to do anything different, but predominantly you know what's coming.
Yeah, and that's why you know it's going to be a physical game, but especially where out playing in the middle of the pitch, you know, they're definitely coming around there, especially like I say, coming out from their own try line. And that's why it's so important that we complete well as well, because we want to be getting the ball on our halfway and then attacking their line and then just putting them in corners really.
Rugby union's taken so much from rugby league, you know, defensively, line speed, and I think more so now in attack, especially phase play attack, because you see that the way teams attack, it's very rugby league-esque. Has rugby league taken anything from union, do you think, at all, or not?
I think the kicking in some respects. I think obviously rugby union is known, but obviously there was a lot more kicking in rugby union than there probably is today, because people like to play a bit more. But definitely from the place kicking angle, I think rugby union has always been ahead of rugby league. But the fact is that there are more rugby league coaches in union than the other way around.
Why do you reckon that is?
Just because the nature of the game. I remember I was part of that Wigan team, you know, when we won the Middlesex Sevens back in '96, and I remember that day. We couldn't scrum, we couldn't maul, we couldn't rock.
Right, I'm walking out here.
I mean, as a team.
I played in the scrum.
But I mean, we did have Viger, Tudor, we did have obviously Scotty, but basically we just defended, and then when we got the ball, we just shifted it to the likes of Robbo, myself, and to Gary Connolly and yourself.
They tried to charge me on the way out. the guy on the way out said, "Excuse me, sir, can I see your ticket?" I said, "Well, I played." He said, "No, I saw you in the final." He said, "You did nothing." He said, "You might as well pay me."
Basically, that was the first time I think I heard that phrase, that defence wins games, and basically we won the competition based on.
Do you look at some of the players that leave rugby league and join rugby union, not with animosity, but just disappointment or jealousy because you want to keep those good players in rugby league? Because a lot do leave, and coaches as well.
No, because we're all individuals. It's a short career. You've got to do what you want to do. We've seen the likes of Reece Samet go to play NFL, and it is we're away from that days when when I switched from rugby union to rugby league, and they said that's it, sign and die. You can't ever play the sport again. Yeah. We've moved on now, so we're all.
Just some of you, though, the one that really sticks out for me, particularly, is Sam Burgess.
Well, obviously he got the rough end of the stick, I believe, in 2015 when he was part of the England team, and obviously England didn't get out of their group, and then he obviously went back to rugby league. So there's always been a little bit of animosity between the coaches, but I think things are much more open now, forgiving. There's a lot, as I said, there's a lot of rugby league coaches in the sport.
I think with Burgess was that there was no clear position for him when he came over.
I
So
felt
whether they're going to play back row or centre.
I
think he was caught up in a lot of politics, which was not down to him.
I spoke to the owner of Bath, and he said, "Scott, we signed Sam Burgess." I said, "Fantastic." He said, "For the World Cup." I said, "Oh, that's only months away." And I said, "You need to give him. What do you think?" He said, "I said you need to give him time." I said, you're probably not looking at this World Cup. If you've invested for next World Cup, I said, I got no problem with that. I said, well, you're going to play him 12. Said, maybe back row. I said, well, at least he'll get into the game more. You know what I mean? He won't have to make so many decisions. He'll learn about the contact area. He's so powerful, and he's such an athlete.
But I think because of, Jason Robinson, a few years before, came in, he was playing for the Lions in 5 minutes.
But I got
spiral kicking.
But we knew what he was playing, though, didn't we?
He's playing fullback, he's playing wing. So.
And as we spoke about this, he needed to learn the game. He never played it before. You know what I mean? When I went to rugby league, it took me 2 or 3 months, you know what I mean, to learn. And there were no rucks, there was no mauls, there was no scrums really, there was no line-outs, you know what I mean? You were all running Ys, you were running X's, you were running unders, you were running overs, you were defending on one side.
It's such a shame though, because as a fan and as an England fan, I just wanted him to succeed.
Yeah.
God, you think, people say, do you still want to play? I'd love to have played with him, because goodness me, I mean, I only met the guy once. And that was in the change room at Twickenham. I was in there early doing some corporate things one of the match days, and he wasn't playing, and he walked in with Manu Tuolangi. And I just remember walking in, and I just looked at him and shook his hand, and he said hello, and I thought, my God, you're a whopper.
Who would you rather take on there, though?
Oh, neither one. But that's what I say when I got
You're always around, probably.
When I got back to him, people say to me, do you wish you still played? And then you realise, you look at that and you go, no, thank you very much.
No. Stick to Rugby, brought to you by Defender.
We've just had an amazing summer of rugby with the girls.
Yeah.
Women's Rugby World Cup, which has been awesome. I know the game in league is growing all the time.
Yep.
And I just didn't know your thoughts and how you see that going and how it's developing on your side of the water.
Yeah. What they've achieved is amazing. I think, is that the treble that they've won just yesterday? But from what I was speaking to Dennis, he was like, we're way above what we expected, because that squad that they've got is a real young squad, and it's for the future that they're building on. But in terms of the women's game, I think it's grown massively, even the last 2-3 years, how much they've come on. Yeah. And it's what we need as a whole sport. It's not just the men's team, it's the wheelchair team as well, it's the women's team as well. And I think
women's sport in general is
it's inspiring, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think so. The summer that we've had in terms of the women's football, and then women rugby union win the World Cup, and then hopefully the women's rugby league we can crack.
Because the NRL, the women's NRL is on
NRLW,
is on as much as the men's is.
Yeah, it is.
It's incredible, absolutely incredible.
But it's opening up the sport to women, so a lot more women are going to take interest. Obviously, women have always been interested in rugby, but when they are able to see it as a career path, somewhere to go on, and it just. I think just
platform to be able to showcase.
It just grows the game. Yeah.
And any predictions now for the grand final?
Well, being a Wigan ambassador.
you go for Mal.
What's the scoreline then?
I think it's going to be close. I think it could be as close as 4 points, but I definitely believe that between Bevan French and Jay Field, they are the two. I know it might get a bit boring, but they are the two guys who are the difference makers. I know that.
And they've been
okay,
there,
I've
they've
got
done it.
Mikey Lewis, who's a great player, but Wigan were without Jay and Bevan for a couple of games, and it was no coincidence that's when they had their dip. As soon as Bevan's back in the in the fold, and he's pulling strings. He's a phenomenal player.
The thing is, what people forget is, right, they won the 4 last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Perfect season.
What other team then doesn't have a little? You know what I mean? You can't keep that going.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's why the best teams in the world, like Man City, when they were winning all those, they'd have a little dip at the start of the season, but then bang, they come strong. And when you needed to win, it was the last couple of weeks of the season. And with playoffs, I think that's what Wigan have done well, in the last number of years, is get to those players. But Hull, if the side of the season has been Hull so far, so it's going to be cracker. Are you allowed to say, because you'll be playing with the...
I agree. I think it's going to be close. I think it might be like similar to last year where Bevan French just carved open the defence out of nothing. I think Wigan need him or Jai Field to do something, and then OKR need a bit of Mikey Lewis magic, I think. I'll probably maybe say 18-6 to Wigan, I'll say.
Ooh.
Because I don't think...
that's even better for you, and you're in the back. We'll take that.
Thing is, it's fine. Anything happens in the final. Form, what's gone into the final, what's happened before means absolutely nothing. It's about right then, that moment, that kick-off, first 5 minutes. It doesn't matter.
He's going back to 2000.
But do you know what I love? Do you know what I love about the grand final?
Yeah.
It's a destination. And people buy the tickets at the start of the year regardless who's there, and you'll see all sorts of jerseys there. You'll see all the other teams' jerseys there, and everybody goes for a day out, and that's what I love.
Yeah, funny. I remember the European Cup final when we won that with Wasps. Do you know what the best thing about that whole day? Of course, we won, but the stadium was full of supporters from all over Europe. French, Irish,
and that's
Scots.
the best. It's a destination now as well, isn't it?
And it was brilliant. The atmosphere was just fantastic. Yeah, we were playing against brilliant club in Leicester and well supported, but it wasn't. It was a celebration
of rugby.
Of rugby, yeah.
And that's what the grand final is. And that's just it's going to be immense. What got you into rugby league?
Well, probably my brother. Really, he's 8 years older than me. So he played union at a good standard, and I believe he got a suspension or something, which put him out of the England selection. So he then got scouted for London Broncos reserves. They were training down at Brunel University, and he noticed like an amateur team, kids just playing on the field next to it. And then it turned out they were under 13s, West London Sharks it was. And then I was like, all right, I'll give it a go. Obviously I was pretty keen on rugby union, but I was like, in the summer I'll play it, just have fun, keep fit. And then just got playing that, and from there just the love of the game just grew. I'd similar to you guys, I'd been watching rugby league on TV, but rugby union was part of me. It was what I'd grew up playing. Loved watching.
Were you a
it.
10, yeah?
Yeah, well, tried to be.
Yeah.
Tried to be.
Me too.
Yeah.
Had you running on that channel?
I knew my place.
And me.
But you were 10 and then you moved a little bit to number 8, was it?
Yeah, just trying to get my hands on the ball. I think they just
Like
realised I wasn't getting any balls, so I was like, no, I'll just stick him there. And then every scrum they just said, you pick up and just run. And I was like, all right.
You had the same coach as me.
Fair enough, I'll give it a go. So I just got the love of rugby league from there, really. And then came to a point where it was pick one of the two.
What age was that?
That was 15.
Oh, okay.
So I'd only been playing league for maybe 2-3 years, but it came to a point I was going for county trials with Union, but they were I don't think I just weren't good enough to be in there really, and then went league route, got knocked back a few times from there, but then just thought, you know what, my dad was a good inspiration for me. He used to take me, we'd go training, obviously he'd take me there, but then days off he'd be like, right, we'll go in the field. We'll do some extra conditioning, we'll do some speed, do some skills. So then my game picked on, which you don't really think at the time, but then once you look back, you're like, oh, that's actually what got me going really, and probably helped me in my professionalism now is how much work I was doing when I was young.
So your dad inspired you.
Yeah,
What about on the field? Who would be someone that you looked up to?
Well, like I say, rugby union wise, it was your Will Greenwoods, your Johnny Wilkinson's 2003 World Cup final.
Oh, don't.
Yeah. I still remember it to the day.
It was in your contract. You weren't allowed to mention that.
But what about league?
League-wise, yeah. So I grew up, and then Andy Farrell's obviously big inspiration. The way that he went back row, similar position where I was playing.
The way he went for Paul Sculthorpe.
Yeah, well, There's some highlights in that, isn't there?
Yeah.
And then the Bradford team, that obviously invincible Bradford team. I watched that growing up watching them.
By Nicola.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Henry Paul, Robbie
If we were going, you used to play yours.
Yeah.
You used to have to mark him. You used to have to mark him.
I was getting older.
How did you deal with him?
I don't think I played against him that much.
Oh, did you?
I think I played once.
Was that dodgy hamstring? Dodgy hamstring was
Once when I was at when I was at Salford, I think we played against that great Bradford side. It must have been 2000 or 2001, and I think I kicked a drop goal from the halfway line. We were 1-0 up, right, for about 5 minutes, and they beat us 80 points to 1. Maricona scored a load of
Go
times.
through your head then. Going for a drop goal.
I just thought.
Try it.
I didn't even know you could drop. I played with him for 2 years. I didn't even know you could drop goals.
Hey, I've kicked about 5 drop goals, man. Because no one thinks that I'm going to do a drop goal. So I just used to do it for a crack and it'd go over, and all the crowd would start laughing. Well, people thought it was a betting scam to get the first points.
Say, yeah.
But
Do you know what he was though? He was the best basketball player in Wigan. Oh, we used to play a lot.
We used to play a lot of basketball. Henry Paul used to think he was the best until I schooled him.
Could you back
Well, I
then?
could dunk in that, but it was only about.
He used to put it.
6
He
foot
was
or
like a
something.
kid when he used to put it up and down himself. he actually bought one. We were in Central Park, and we came in one day. He said, "Boys, and you bought it."
Yes,
He bought his own net.
Bought me own net.
Yeah.
Own ball, own net.
If he
I used to have a hoop
beat
outside
him,
my
he'd take
house.
him home.
I used to have a hoop outside my house in Widnes, and all the local kids used to come and play basketball on my drive. And even to this day, they're all about like 30 or 40 years old now, and they go, "Oh, you used to play basketball outside your house." I'm thinking, you look older than me, mate. Are you sure?
Oh, it's fabulous, order.
Good old days.
Yeah. So the scene, because you kind of you London Broncos as well. What's the scene? What's the rugby scene like around London? Because nobody talks about it really, but it is a good a lot of players playing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, when I grew up, it was maybe 5 or 6 amateur teams, and I think it's tripled in numbers in terms of amateur teams now, and the opportunities to play rugby league down here are massive. In terms of rugby league and London Broncos, yeah, they went back down to Championship and a bit of ownership change. But now they've got a new owner in. Darren Lockyer's involved, obviously a legend of the rugby league game.
Legend.
So they've got a bit of backing going there
Why
now.
doesn't it work? Because it's such a
strange,
brilliant product, and the amount of
and there's been that many good
and-
players come from London, and I'm sure there's more out there as well, which just needs a bit of looking into.
Obviously, when Virgin, that's what got me to leave Wigan back in '96 when Richard Branson comes calling, and obviously he led us out at Wembley in '99. We didn't win, we lost against Leeds, and everything sort of tailed off then. So that was a moment in time. But I think now,
Moment lost.
yeah, definitely, definitely didn't kick out. Obviously, when Virgin sort of left, things sort of kind of didn't, went on a little bit of a crooked path. But now Darren Lockyer, who's going to be another immortal of the game, in Australia, with Gary Hetherington, who's leaving Leeds, and he's.
I know he knows. I was with Gary last year, and his enthusiasm for the game is as good now as it's ever been. You know what I mean? And if he can't make it work, nobody can.
I think definitely with that, because the game is so big in Australia now, and as I say, a lot of players like Gary Schofield and myself are probably more well known in Australia and Ellery, than known over here generally, because the sport is so massive over there, and I think that now they see. This is, an outlet, the opportunity, to invest in it, and to make rugby league a global game. I think that's what they want.
Well, when you walk around London, and there's a lot of Northerners, but there's a lot of Australians,
Antipodeans.
And you think you put a 10,000-seater stadium in London somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like Woodstock, and you put it on and they will come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you feel
the dreams, that is.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
We think we want to get some of those fans out to the Ashes game at Wembley, so that's a massive opportunity.
Yeah. Things
With all
like
the
Ashes
stars.
will help, won't it?
Because France have made it work, and you played down there. And why does that work? Because the rugby league in France is massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they go down there, and it's very passionate, and they've got it right down there.
Yeah.
Why does that work then?
They're just like you say, they're passionate folk, aren't they?
Yeah.
And we got Toulouse and Catalan over there, professional teams, but then the amateur game over there, the semi-professional game over there is massive as well. That's covered on television over there. You've got all around the different districts, there's teams everywhere, and I think it's definitely something London could probably look into, is how France have made it work.
Yeah.
And
I think it is a less saturated market over there. There's, we're in a small nation, but we want to be good at everything, every sport, every code.
then in London as well, it's that solid investment, which hopefully they've got now, but then also finding a base for themselves, like a home. Yeah. When I played for them, they were playing at the Stoop, and then we moved up to Barnet. So we'd have 2 different homes within 2 years, and then I think from Barnet they moved to Ealing.
There's got to be consistency.
Yeah, they've got to get a solid fan base. You've got to have the same home, haven't you?
You need a home.
And London's such a big place as well. To get from one end to the other, it's quite difficult.
Stick to Rugby, brought to you by Defender. So what were the biggest challenges moving to Catalan? Like culture, training,
Yeah, so that's why I moved both times, was to get out of my comfort zone. I'd gone from London Broncos, obviously being from down south, no one really knowing what you do anyway, because like we spoke about there, Rugby League's not massive. You'd go around, everyone would be just going about the business. Then you go up to Cass, out of my comfort zone, small little hard-working town.
So
Rugby League is all they want to do. All they want to know about Rugby League. So you're automatically known then. And then I was like, right, played 6 years here. We had a successful period. We got to the grand final in 2017, won league leaders as well. And then got to just after COVID, I went, right, I need another change, need to get out of my comfort zone again. So where else would you get out of your comfort zone than a place that doesn't speak the same language as you? And then moving down to the south of France, which, it worked out great for me.
How did the French go?
Yeah, comme ci, comme ça.
He's fluent.
I am fluent, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so we've had a few players.
I'm joking.
All right.
Sean had to get nervous then.
Yeah. So that's also things, is like how much it opened up down there. Is I got to play with the likes of Sam Tompkins, Mickey McAlorum, Mitchell Pearce from Australia, Jimmy Maloney, like world-class players.
Steve McNamara.
He was coach, yeah. And then we had the likes of Sean Edwards. He's moved down to that area in Perpignan in Cannes, and he'd come down and watch training, and he's a rugby fanatic, and he just absolutely loves it, lives and breathes it. So to meet people like him and learn from people like that, it was just great for me.
Yeah, it's amazing. So the big question is, what was your favourite game ever?
It's going to be either 89 Widnes against Wigan to the championship deciding game, or obviously, I'm going to be known for that try in '94 at Wembley for Wigan against Leeds. So I say those two. If you're a Widnes fan,
I can still see Tatey's face now.
Yeah, Tatey. The funny thing with Tatey is that I think after that he became, obviously, people, dog Tatey about me going round him, but he went on that Lions tour in '97 and
scored a try.
So he went from that to the Lions tour, and then he became a Scotland defence coach, I think, for a bit. So he used to get a bit of stick from the boys when he was in meetings. But yeah, I'd have to say either the try score for Widnes against Wigan, or in '89, or the try.
Have you ever scored a try where you've just caught it and dot the ball down like half a metre, or has every try been
because if he was
halfway line?
If he was that close, he'd drop a goal.
No, of course there are. You score lots of tries, but as my son Tyler always says to me now, Dad, you scored one try at Wembley about 30 years ago. Get over it. I always say to him, it's 501.
He's at Bath now. He's at Bath now.
Yes, he's at Bath, plying his trades, doing well.
Enjoyed it.
Made his debut in the Premiership and scored in his debut.
I'm trying to think, there's a few boys. There's Phil de Glanville's lad.
Steve
Ajomo, Max Ajomo there.
Bracken's lad.
Jack Bracken.
It's Brian Redpath's son there as well.
Yeah. The centre.
Yeah.
There's a few of them coming through.
Has he got your pace?
People always say that he hates this when people say that to him. He's a lot bigger than me, as all rugby players now.
Is it?
Yeah, he's like 6'4", massive winger. Obviously, he's faster than me now, but I'll be 60 this.
It's one of them, yes. And of course, you're quicker than me now, but I'm 60.
Is it hard as a former player and as a dad to watch your son play?
It's more nerve-wracking watching. I've got a younger son, Phoenix, who's just got an extension at Tottenham, so he's doing well. But yeah, it's always going to be hard, as you well know, having kids, watching them do anything. But I like it that he's got his own song now. Tyler Offiah, you're not as good as your dad.
But you wrote it. He wrote it.
I think Jack
saw it in his notes.
Started singing that to him when he's playing for Bath against Loughborough. But yeah, it's all good to get the banter. But now I'm not Martin Offiah, I'm just Tyler Offiah's dad.
Yeah. Quicker, Dad. Right, so here's a question for you, right? How many tries did Martin score against Leeds once in a game?
I'm going to throw something out there stupid, like 9.
How many was it?
It was 10. I wasn't far.
I scored 10 tries in a game once.
I do remember when my son, when he first started playing at Rugby Rats.
Is that a record?
No, I think the record's actually 11. Yeah. But that was in
as well.
In 1920 something. Someone scored 11.
Can you imagine being in the change room after the game with Sean Edwards as your defence coach and you've leaked that many tries?
Oh no!
But I always wind up the England coach Sean Wayne because he was playing for Leeds.
He was playing for Leeds.
What was it like playing with Scott? Because obviously we do this podcast and SQ talks a lot about rugby league.
He gives it a big love.
Yeah, he did this, I did that.
He was a good player. He was a very good player. I do remember setting you up for a couple of tries.
You set me up a lot of tries.
Yeah, he was. If he'd have stayed in rugby league, he would have been. He would have been a great. Definitely.
Few tries, not a lot of tries.
What did you stay for? Was it only a season? Was it?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, so
and then you went back to Richmond. Is it?
Yeah. So I played the first year where we won the Old Championship.
Yeah.
And then I played 3/4 of the Super League One. So long ago.
He was a good player. Good
Last of the
hands,
Super League
good
One.
hands.
I did score. I scored I never scored 10 tries in the game, but I scored 4 against Saints one Boxing Day, which was
a lot.
Mike, what about you? Have you scored 9 tries in a game?
No, nowhere near that. I think 3's the most. Which I didn't think was too bad till hearing 10.
Yeah.
10 tries.
A professional game, 10 tries.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube, mate.
Everything's on YouTube.
And Scott, what was it like playing with Martin?
Oh well, yeah.
Martin.
The thing is, right, when you watch, and I was watching Rugby League and everything before I went up there, and I actually told my wife when we first got together, we were 18 going on 19, and then I asked her to marry me, but it was one of those throwaway comments. I said, if we get married, but you got to know in a couple of years I will be going to Rugby League, you'll have to come up north with me. And she said fine, and you know what I mean, it's one of those things maybe you put out there in the universe. And then
Imagine she said no. Imagine she said no.
I'd be a lot richer now. Don't use it. You texted me last week and said because my wife used to get Martin in the headlock.
She got me. Was at a party drunk, and she got me in the headlock, and I tried to get out. And I couldn't get out. And I wasn't really trying to get out, but it was a bit embarrassing because everyone started looking at me going, you can't get out. So I thought, I better try and get out. So I really tried to get out, and I still couldn't get out. I thought to myself, I literally had to tap out.
It's okay.
It wasn't good for my ego.
It's okay. She once broke Graham Henry's ribs. That's a different story altogether. So I watched that World Club Challenge when the boys were out and they played against the Broncos out there, and I was asked to play, to sign for Leeds.
Okay.
So I could have gone to Leeds and everything, and then Mike Burton came back. He said, "Look, hang on a minute. You haven't spoken to Leeds yet. Wigan are interested, and Wigan had just won, and they had Martin Offiah, man, and then they had Jason Robinson on the other wing, and then they had Vinga Gumala, Gary Connolly. You know what I mean? We had Sean Edwards, and Rudlinski was in the second team. Then he's running the club. He was a junior player." And you have a look at the side, Dennis Betts, Phil Clark, Andy Farrell, young boy coming through, Houghton in the second row. And it was just absolutely, it was like the Harlem Globetrotters
who's who
of rugby. And then when it wasn't as much money to go to Leeds, but I said I wanted to play for them. And we had such a good time. It was brilliant. We kind of had a routine. It was basketball.
Yeah.
And then it was every day then we'd go for the baked potatoes. And then we'd go for over the
Cheddar
road.
beans and cheese.
Yes. Yeah.
Even to this day.
Everybody, if Martin Ofiah's eating it, I'm eating it. You know what I mean? If he can be that guy, I'm going to be that quick. And it was just wonderful. And then we had a good relationship with the players. And if you played in the second team, on a Thursday at home, first team would go and watch, and then you'd have a couple of pints with each other after. And it was a real club environment,
Culture,
and it was a family environment. And Jack Robinson and the whole, everybody got together. And
Where did that
it
come
was
from at
such a
Wigan?
pleasure.
Has that always been there? Or did
I
that...
think there is a Wigan way. There is, Wigan's a very special town. It's close to my heart. It adopts players, the likes of Billy Boston. To get United. You've got
Sir
United.
Billy, it's not the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Just the best thing ever.
Great town, great club, great culture, great history. When you think about all the players and coaches, even the likes of Chris Ashton, was from Wigan. Ellery Hanley played for Wigan. Obviously Andy
One of the
Farrell.
great.
Yeah.
Mike Gregg.
So many great players that have come out and gone out into the world. Jason Robinson.
Yeah.
It was a great era to play.
Brilliant.
We've got some great community questions here for you both. And Mike, I'm going to start with you.
Yep.
I've got one on my own, and that would be, if you could take any current rugby union player and bring them over across the league, who would you choose?
Yeah, I actually spoke about this the other day at training. I was going through a few union players. I think Marcus Smith would be an exciting one to have at fullback. I think just that little bit of just something special, I reckon, out of nothing. I think it'd suit the way out the back, I think.
He's got that Sam Tompkins sort of go and creativity. Toughest day on a rugby pitch?
Well, there's been 3 that stand to mind, but I've played at Old Trafford 3 times, lost 3 times, so it's not a great record, but probably the one that stood out was...
100% though.
Yeah, well, at least 100% loss record, yeah.
Do you support Man U?
Business
as usual then.
Yeah, exactly. But the one that probably stands to mind is 2017. We, like I said, won the league leaders 2017, and then come the grand final against Leeds, just didn't turn up, any of us, and then we just got absolutely roasted. So yeah, that's probably one that stands to mind.
Okay. If you're on Mastermind, what would your specialist subject be?
Ooh. Can I go sport, as in general, just sport? Yeah, just go general sport. I like to. I think.
Well, that opens yourself up, mind.
Yeah. But I feel like I've got a bit of a good little broad spectrum of sport rather than
I
just
used to
one.
be like that when you used to question of sport. I used to dread the rugby question.
Yeah,
I never
dread it.
Yeah, if someone asked me a rugby
I'm
league
the gambler
question,
and go
I would.
home.
I've got my home question wrong twice, I think.
Yeah, I'd be the same.
One was Quentin Pongia. God rest his soul, is not with us anymore.
I never ever got a home question wrong.
Didn't you?
No, I never had one.
Oh, okay.
Always went away.
Oh, did
There's
you?
no chance I'm going.
smart.
I'd rather do ping pong.
Specialist subject would be
Cooking.
sourdough.
Okay. Always talks
wow.
about it.
I bet you'd rise to the challenge.
I'd go The Office.
Bread.
I'd go The Office, season 1 and 2.
Oh.
Would you?
Yeah. You?
I can't even remember the question.
Gavin and Stacey.
That would be bad. That would be bad.
Stella.
Stella. Yeah. Not the drink, the programme. Stella, episode 12, season 2.
3 minutes in. Mike, the match you'll never forget.
St Helens at Magic Weekend for Catalan, probably 4 years ago now. I think it was season 2021. We were down by 3 tries with 8 minutes to go. Came back, got it to level. Then I remember being about 40 metres out. Last play of the game, Jimmy Maloney gets it, thinks I'll have a crack from here. Thinking, why not? I'm not the one kicking it. Why have a go? Yeah, he pings it perfectly, and then we won the league leaders from the back of that. So yeah, it was a pretty special game.
How good is Magic Weekend as well?
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. It's like you said earlier about how everyone just comes together, and I think that's another good example of rugby league coming together.
Yeah. Now on to you, Martin. Best player you played with or against?
Oh, best player I played with. I'd have to say.
It's tough.
Oh, that is tough. That is tough.
I've got 2, I think. You'd say.
Obviously, I'm going to say Jiffy. Jiffy's one of them.
Oh, is he? I got
Jiffy
3.
the greatest convert, as in crossover.
From Well,
Has to be.
He has to be definitely up there, doesn't he?
Well, Billy Boston's got a knighthood.
Yeah.
So it depends what in the modern era. I think because he was such a big star in rugby union, I just remember I didn't know what paparazzi was until Jiffy signed for Widnes, and he. I think he came on a sub against Salford. I think I scored 5 tries that day. He touched the ball twice and he got all the headlines. And that's when I knew what star power was. Honestly, he was a super... I couldn't even believe that Widnes signed Jonathan Davis. I mean, I've seen the things he'd done, you know, British Lion playing in the 5 Nations, it was, or whatever back then. And, you know, I mean, I even remember that try he scored against Scotland when he just went off a foot, and the stuff he did, playing for Widnes when he, you know, got to grips with the game was absolutely phenomenal.
Pads he wore must have been bigger than
So I'd have to say Jonathan Davis, and I'd probably Ellery, just because
there's so many,
mate. There was so many.
Yeah.
Henry Paul.
Yeah.
Was probably one of the most skillful.
I remember the try Henry Paul scored. Andy Farrell, you know, the drop out under the post. Yeah. So Andy Farrell drops out under the post, right? And then it bounces on the halfway line. Yeah. It bounces up. Henry Paul catches it and scores under the other post. Yeah. And I was literally not out to my 5-yard line, and he'd already scored up the other end. I was like, I've never seen it. I'll just wait here and I'll wait for the kick-off. Never seen anything like it in my life.
What about a moment you could relive on the field?
Obviously, the moment, 94. People say, why did you do... I've never done that celebration before, never done it after, because it was a moment, because so much happened before that led up to that try, and Sean had just helped me out because I was going through a tough time. In 93, dislocated my shoulder in Australia, came back, and Wigan signed Viger to Gamala, and they had Jason Robertson, and everyone was saying they were going to get rid of me, but I managed to turn things around, and you know, Jason didn't even get picked for that game, and so to have that moment again, I'd say yeah.
What's your favourite place to tour?
To tour?
Yeah.
Obviously Australia.
Yeah.
Love going to Australia.
Whereabouts would it be? Is there...
Just Sydney. Sydney's like London, you know, such a cosmopolitan, cool city with nice restaurants and everything. But then you've got the beach down the road in Bondi, where you could go and play basketball all day. And loved Sydney. If I didn't live in England, I'd live in Australia.
Brilliant. Well, good luck in the Test series.
When is it again?
Can't wait for it.
First game,
25th of October, Saturday.
Wembley.
Those are your only chances to get tickets.
Yes.
The other 2 are sold out, so
which is great news. We can't wait to watch it. Eminem, Mike and Martin, thank you so much for joining us on Stick to Rugby.
Thank you very much.
Great having you on.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers, Matty boy.
Awesome, lads. Thank you.